Cool. Yeah. All right. I'm going to get started. So I don't want to use Emacs here. I want to use 4coder. So let me launch that. So I'm not going to explain any of the differences. Hopefully, things that are new will become obviously apparent. Regen. All right. So the last thing I did was I made a segment intersection thing. Segments collide. And what I want to do, oh look at that! It seems to be having. It always. I feel like this has been here before and I've ignored it somehow, but that T is definitely not parsed correctly. It thinks that it's coloring it white, which is basically means it doesn't think that's in a token, even though it should be inside of this junk token here. And it's weird because it is red in the background, so there's some sort of bug with how I'm coloring it. Maybe it's in the junk token, but I'm not coloring it right. But let me just take a note of that, and we can move on. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Bugs. Error. Token. I don't think AppBase is the one I wanted to open, actually. Whoops. Whew. I thought that might be true. Okay, kill interactive is broken. So I cannot use kill interactive right now. That's fine. Let's see if I can get this party started. App color. That's the one I want. Open TreeGen. No, I'm not going to open TreeGen today. What is your deal? I've seen a bug like this before. Alright, so looks like there's a problem with 4coder, so I have to debug it real quick so that I can open files and stuff, and then we can get started. What's happening is when I open the file, let's see, it'll be down here in the delayed section. U. Okay, so I want to try opening that again. TreeGen. Enter. Okay, so it posted a delayed. Oh wait, no, I don't care about delayed close. I care about delayed open. Actually, there it is. Alright, so yes, we have a delayed open, and here I'm doing it with an if. I could just throw an if there, I guess. It's not a big deal. I'll do that in a minute. So let's see. Grab the delay. What does the delay say? It wants to open treegen.cpp. That's not right. It doesn't. Okay, so I'm just not null terminating the string correctly, which is annoying because I thought I was. I thought I had done this. I thought this was over. Alright, so that's under the interactive view. I want to see a variable called selected. Yes, so if the file is selected. Alright, okay, so do file list boxes my problem. Let's see, that'll be, so things are a little messed up right now because my UI stuff is actually contained in this color view file, so like it's all sort of in flux and nothing's really organized. This is, if Abner dislikes clean code, for the sake of clean code, then there's no way, and that's the only thing he dislikes, that there's no way he'll dislike this, because there's absolutely nothing clean about this. Nothing at all. So I want to find the do file list box. Alright, so here's the do file list box. Where is my selected? Okay, I want to see. So that's just getting terminated with no when that happens, and that's getting terminated with no when that happens. Alright, we need, okay, file selected, result, okay, do file list box, if new dir, sure, if file is selected, then it opens it from the hot directory string. So when I don't terminate that one with null, that terminates that one with null. What am I missing? What am I missing? File list box is the one that's operating. Okay, so I'm going to just throw another breakpoint. We need to go color view. Is it even? There it is. Connor Rents asks, are those the default colors for 4coder? Are they supposed to look like Casey's colors, or did you make them without knowing about his? Okay, so they are the default for 4coder, and they it started with I made the color scheme after Handmade Hero started, and I was using Casey's configuration file to make mine, so I can't remember for sure if I copied from his. I don't think I did, because I remember I didn't know at the time where the built-in Emacs colors came from, so I, for the most part, was just scrapping them. It's true that I was probably influenced by Handmade Hero to some degree, but I've always used a dark theme with stuff on it. I was just sort of trying to make a greenish version of his, because I like green as a color. And I thought it'd be cool, especially for code, to be a little greenish. And the orange, I think, is exactly his orange. The orange for my my keywords are the same orange, and my background's darker and stuff like that. But that thing is exactly the same. Okay. So there's definitely a bit of influence there. Let's see, so this is trying to do a file list box. I want to see when I press enter why it's not terminating with null like I think it should be. So that happens right there. Let's run this again. So the sequence is I go over here, and this usually has something to do with the fact that it uses the same string multiple times, and if I fail to null terminate it, it'll use old stuff that was there. So if I just open it the same way that I did last time, I'll get the same bug. Okay, so that works. And let's just see, I want to look at the hot string. That doesn't really help. That color terminated with null. Yeah, so that was already null terminated, possibly by the inside of this function, so that's whatever. And then that triggers, don't care. Let's try opening now tree gen. Okay, so now you can see it's got the extra p's that it's added, so it's filling in, because I didn't even type in the .cpp. So the first .cpp, that is just it autofilling, and then that 0 should show up right there for some reason it's not. So let's take a peek at string.str, the first 30. So the size is 27. So 27 is where the null terminator should show up. And it's true the null terminator there would make this correct. So that worked. Abner Coimbray, string with an uppercase S is my string struct. I'd be happy to show you how I handle strings, but at some point strings were just, I mean, it's an editor and I do string stuff all the time, which is probably the one thing that's like the worst about code tools is how much you actually are dealing with text and strings and stuff like that. Because you have file names and you have actual text from your buffer and clipboard text and undo text and all these things are strings. So I made a string struct. It's basically just a character's pointer and an int size and an int capacity. And then like that's that. Which has some nice features to it. I can show you. It's mostly like a convenience thing, so I can put stuff together quickly when I don't care about the speed. Connor Rents, I use the same font as Casey, so Liberation Mono. D7 Samurai asks, UTF-8? Not right now. Right now it's just ASCII. I'm gonna do UTF-8. It's just it's not high on the list. Basically because the people I've asked, the people who, at least everyone, maybe you have some different information, but everyone who I've asked to set about their coding in C and C++ say that they don't really need UTF-8 for that, usually. Like, they don't usually their CPP files aren't encoded that way. They could have text files that they want to edit in 4coder, but that's like lower priority than code for me. So it's on the list, just below like porting it to Linux and stuff like that. Alright. Open. And the string there is .cpp. Sure. Okay. So then we get to the delayed opens, which happen just down here. And let's see. Delay. Wow, so even though the hot directory computed it right, when it copied into the... Okay, I see it. Alright, so the issue isn't got to do with this terminate null. It's because I'm copying it later, which is not great. But it's unavoidable in this case, I think. Working set delayed open is the function I want to check now. So that's popping over to another file. Working set delayed action. Yep, there it is. And the problem is I do the copy, but I need to terminate this one with null. Okay, I believe that is it. How much did I lose for that? 15 minutes. Not terrible. Colors, code, app color. tree gen. Alright, we're good. I want to test this. What I was saying before things started screwing up is I want to test segments collide, which I wrote last time, but I didn't get a chance to test it. I don't want to test it by just plugging it into the algorithm yet. I want to make sure that it is working on its own, I guess. So I just need to grab some stuff real quick. We need an array of vector 2's, so 4 points, 2 for each segment. We'll call these P4, and I'll have P moving. There we go. And when we initialize this thing, I would like for P moving to be -1. Oops, let me go check something real quick. Okay, good. Canookles, are you saying you want a Visual Studio theme in 4coder? I can do that. I mean, I'd have to, I mean, Zafad, someday I'll edit it for, oh, I see, Connor Rentz pointed out too. Someday I'll be editing 4coder and 4coder. It's just once I've got one version that's good enough to use for editing, the next version it'll be the one I'm editing. It's a little bit like I have to separate out. It's not that crazy. Let's see. Just not today. Alright, and then I want to set these. Alright, so I need to pick some positions. I'll just pick random stuff real quick. 30, 30, 50, 50, 30, 50, 50, 30. Connor Rentz, do you have a way to compile within 4coder yet? No. It's on my list. I can show you my, I have this little, square of paper where I have a to-do list. I do to-do lists all over the time. All over the time, yes. All over the time. All over the place, I have to-do lists, and this is my to-do list. I just got debug. You can see I didn't cross off the testing part, because I haven't actually done what I wanted to do to complete debug and testing. I'm currently working on UI stuff, pulling things out so I can easily plop them in other places, like the file select thing, undo and history related things, and it also involves improving the basic text engine, because I've got some ideas on how to optimize it so we can maybe push for more than 10 megabytes, at least for unblexed files. And then compile and CLI, meaning command line inputs. You can do other things than compile too, but that and compile will be a little fancier than what Emacs does, I think, when I'm done with it. So that's my to-do list right now to give you an idea of where I am. And after that is autocomplete, white space, so like margin stuff, and Linux porting and keyboard porting. So don't keep me to that, but that's like what I have written down on my paper for the next few weeks, next few months. Because each one of those things is a couple weeks. Oh, Valbus asks, at the end, what caused the weird buffer error you tried to solve in the stream 2 weeks or so ago? Yeah, that was a while ago, because it was before I moved here, and then I've been off internet for a while. But let me see if I can remember. I know the first weird buffer error was a matter of my allocation function, like when I did a realloc, it was returning the old pointer instead of the new one, so that it was still writing in, even though it asked for a bigger chunk of memory. It didn't, it like was still writing to the old memory. So that was causing one corruption, and then the other thing we had, I solved that on stream. I can't remember what the other one was. I don't know why I couldn't find, like, I didn't post that one on YouTube and stuff because I didn't see it in Twitch, or I forgot or something. Like, I didn't come back for a couple days and it wasn't there, which was weird. I can't remember. What was the weird thing that was happening other than the corruption that I fixed in the first half of that stream? So I did end up fixing it like just like an hour or less later after the stream ended. Okay, now what I want to do is say, wait, first of all, do I have keyboard input in this system? I don't know if I do. So that would be under app base. Mouse, cursor, step, mouse date. I do not have keyboard. Okay, nope. So that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Whoa. Okay. More stuff is broken than I realized. That could be a null termination thing on the switch file. Alright. Okay. So no keyboard. What I want to do then is we'll say right click to brown, silver. Well, I have this do button stuff. Let me just use that again. That'll be fine. Rect x0 equals rect x1 plus 10. Rect x1 equals rect x0 plus 20. And then I want this, but I want it, I want this, basically. I'm going to throw it in a for loop. Alright, and then with each step I'll do a button, and my mouse is fine. Okay, whether or not to highlight is determined by I equals vars p moving, I believe is the name, right? P moving, is that a thing? That's a thing. So if that, then then say we're highlighted. If we click it, then p moving equals I. So basically, p moving is like an integer that's going to be -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, or no, -1 through 3. -1 meaning I'm not moving any of the points around. 0, 1, 2, and 3 corresponding to the 4 points. And then if I click on one of these buttons, it will change which one I'm moving around. And so that's pretty cool. After that, if I does not equal -1 and mouse, so I want to open app base again, so keep closing it. Mouse pressed left. Okay, PL. Alright, then what I want to do is vars P, I don't care about I care about vars P moving. And then I want to do that his x equals the mouse x, and that his y equals the mouse y. Alright, let's see. Colors, Q-code, build. Conversion from I32 to real 32. Yes. So another thing I want to do real quick is say that obviously it's not working because it's not drawing anything right now, which I have to look into. But first I want to say, what is a good name? Mouse used, mouse consumed. And then with each of these I'm going to pass a pointer to that, and it will basically set that to true if the mouse gets if the mouse is ever used for anything, the mouse will be consumed. Oh no, I did it wrong. I don't have undo or replace yet. Those are coming in a little bit. Okay. Alright. So, let's see, do adjuster. Rule 32, mouse consumed. Okay, so basically, and hit check. So this is where the mouse gets consumed on this one. And like if I was making a full-fledged UI, mouse consumed would probably get annoying because I'd probably have other variables that I want to keep track of like that, and those would all get thrown into the like UI struct that contains all of the information about the UI. Which is kind of what I do in UI stuff in 4coder, just not done compressing it all because there's like a ton of stuff you can do to make that. It's just sort of like an endless pit of interesting things to play with. So this one is, oh, I need the, oh man. There we go. Oh, for those, when I released the one that let the 4coder thing that lets you, in case you was playing this and didn't know what it does, the thing called paste next, if I just cut to the chase, is what I want to describe real quick. I don't know. I don't know how Emacs tries to do this. Like I remember playing with it and just thinking that it was not like something I was going to learn how to use. So with this one, you just, in my bindings, you hit Control V to paste, and you hit Control Shift V after that, it will paste the thing that you have on the clipboard before that, right? So you can like scroll through all of your pastes. That's all that is. Let's see. Could someone real quick like save the log of the chat so I can view in detail whatever just happened there? Because I have time to figure it out, but it seems awesome, and I want to make sure I make fun of Abner properly for it. I just don't want to do that right now. Is the thing on stream. Because it seems like something funny just happened. Anyway. So now I should know if the mouse got consumed, and we'll only do this if the mouse was not consumed. Because I don't want you to click on buttons and it moves these things around. Okay, so next up, I want to, and this is all a part of if one. So right now I'm just setting up a thing for testing if the collision works. So what we need now is we need to draw stuff. Let's draw the lines. So I believe I have a MyGL line or something like this. Maybe not. What is Polygon doing? That's just okay. So I'm gonna just throw in a quick internal void MyGL line, which will be a B and a color. Nope, need undo. I so need undo. It'll be so great once there's undo in here and auto tabbing. It'll be so good. What do I got? I need MyGL color to be color. And this is pretty bad right here, binding the color like that. What you actually want to do if you're gonna use this is something that I learned the hard way just recently, is you need to not bind unless you actually need to. So what you actually want is to have your render target passed in here, and your render target knows the color that's currently bound and only does the new bind. And same thing with textures, because 4coder had a terrible performance bug where I messed that up, and it was rebinding all the time, and then it was bad. So what is this, GL begin? I'm just guessing that there might be a lines thing, hopefully. And then I want to do GL vertex 2f a.x, a.y, b, b. Okay. Can you hear? I live on the 17th floor of a building, and it's I don't know if I can hear more because of that, but it seems to me like I can. So I can hear people, and I can hear things, I can hear sirens that I never see. I don't feel like I hear that many sirens and stuff when I'm out and about in town, so I don't know. That's right. I claim that I go out and about. I'm claiming that, and you can't disprove it. Do adjuster. None of the two arguments. What are you talking about? No, don't do that. Do adjuster. Oh, interesting. Huh? I have two do adjusters. Oh, one is for ints. Gotcha. Cool. And I want this. How does this one work? If L and hit check, V equals to lerp. This one's always doing scale, and that one only does it, well, minus low, minus low, that's unlerping. And then it's relerping right back to itself? Why would it do that? X equals, oh, because it needs to know where to draw the thing. Sure. Okay, I accept it. Okay, great. Let me just ignore this. Let me just ignore this chat log link real quick. Alright, great. I've successfully ignored it into my favorites, and then we can get back to seeing if this compiles. That was, for those on YouTube who have no idea what I was just talking about, Abner Coinbraid told me to ignore chat log links, so that's what I did. Asciption, I think, asks, or maybe Asciption, it's hard to be sure, asks how many lines of code is this. So if we're talking about the colors program, it is 1,400 lines of code. And it was just building, right? It just built, so let's run it. Still, like, all messed up. It's not drawing anything. Don't get that. I don't get that. Oh, because I have to turn these on. I forgot about that. Okay, those should just be on by default, maybe? Because I'm apparently never going to remember how all of this works. No, get out of here. You probably are broken. Vars. Show skeleton, show tree. Okay, that's right. I still behave like I'm on Emacs sometimes when I do that, and I have to, it works a little differently than incremental search. So, show skeleton equals 1. I'm just going to set these to 1 so I don't get confused. Show thickness, was it? Oh, I can't believe I forgot already. Thickness. No, it's not that. Show tree. Okay, let's take a quick look. FUCon wants to know what is the line count for 4coder. 16,371. That number is really interesting because it was in the range of 1,500 for a very long time. Like, there was a lot of stuff that I did, and each feature I added, it, like, the line count just stayed the same every time. And it was crazy because, like, I'd spend half the day moving it up, and then the second half of the day it'd just fall sometimes below where it was. And it was going back and forth between 1,500 and 1,600 for a long time. When I got past that phase and I started working on debug stuff, it got up to here. But yeah. It spent a very long time in the same range because I had, like, just so much improvement to old code that it shrunk a lot of stuff while I was adding features. It's really cool to, like, know you added a feature and you have less cut lines now. At the end of the day, that's like the best day you can have. Anyway, what was I doing? I don't see my lines because I haven't drawn them. That's the thing I want to do next. My GL line. That is the function. Okay. And then I want vars p0, vars p1 to be one of those, and I'll give it the color line because I'm lazy, and it's temporary, or not always there. very unusual. Alright, and then what I want to do is give it some color. So there'll be a reddish one with a... I have like a color in my head that I want to achieve for some reason. It will make me happy if I try, so I will. We'll see if that's any good. Give it a shot. Whoops. That just built 4coder. But the build script for 4coders doesn't work. It's not the script I use anymore. I need to go back to this project. Alright, I have to do something real quick. There we go. I have a bug in the system that got introduced at some point that leads to things going slower over time if I switch projects a lot. Which I have to deal with because it's annoying to refresh my command line. 343. There was a warning, but 0.3 F. There we go. Well, that's a cool color, but it's not the thing that's supposed to be colored that way. And where are my lines? My lines still aren't there. That's weird. Okay. Wasn't quite the color I was going for, by the way. Silver and brown. There's my brown, there's my silver. Wait a minute. I think this is alpha here, and that might... Okay, 1 second. If I take these out, what is the color of that tree thing? Okay, so that did affect the color. We all saw that, right? Okay, I got it. My GL polygon is not binding the color. It's binding the color. Oh wait, no, not polygon. No, my GL line. What is it? My GL skeleton. What is my other thing? What is it? I don't care about that. Where is it? Where? Okay. Not polygon outline, not line. My GL skeleton. There it is. I knew there was one. Yeah, it's not binding the color. Or wait, I have a function. It's my GL color. There we go. So that fixes that weirdness, but why are we not seeing the lines? The lines are initialized at 30, 30, 50, 50. That shouldn't be off screen, should it? Bars P 30, 30, 50, 50, 30, 50, 50, 30. If that's not off screen, I don't think. It should be somewhere on there, but I'm not seeing it. Oh wait, there it is. You see it's inside the UI right now. So let's just move it over here. It's not the best. I wish it was keyboard driven instead of using this, but it's what I've got. And no, those aren't the colors I want, but oh well. I think that I have a problem where this should actually be swapped over here. Yeah, that's more like it. Boom. That's actually, like, that's the color I want it too. So, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Now, I need an indicator that tells me if these things, I need to know if yeah, okay, so I was thinking before I trailed off there is that I want to shift that over a little bit so that it doesn't start on the UI. Yeah, the chat can be a little distracting. It causes me to drift off because I see something you say and I go thinking about my own thing. Alright, next up, I don't know if, yeah, I might just ignore it. I was going to start responding to Popcorn, and then he suggested that I start ignoring it, so I'm going to give that a shot for a little bit. Because we've got about 10 minutes left. We're going to see if I can get this testing. This should have been done in like 15 minutes tops. But I mean, I want to answer questions though, so have to deal with that sometimes. Anyway, let's see. We're almost there, so no biggie. How about I just finish? Well, actually, the easiest way to do this will be to vec for red, blue, white, red equals this one. Go away. I have my key bindings don't totally match between 4coder and Emacs. Because I just didn't feel like, when I started with a blank slate, it was easier to come up with key bindings than like looking at Emacs and trying to figure out which of the Emacs things I wanted to keep and which ones I didn't. So my key bindings don't totally match between the two, and sometimes I hit Control W, which is cut in Emacs, but it's save as here. Which is weird because there was a time when I didn't confuse myself. When I was more careful about that when I was using 4coder. Anyway, what I want to do now is say if did it again. If segment collision, then red equals blue is white. We don't need white. We'll just say boo, 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 boo. Copy that, paste it, switch these to ones. Okay, so we get red and blue, and then we switch them to white if there's a collision. I just need to check what is my segment collision looking like. Okay, build that. Segments collide is actually the name of it. So I like pulled the thing up to check the name. I didn't even check the name, so it's a little interesting. Yeah, so that is pretty much saying that it doesn't think they're colliding, which is not fabulous. Okay, so there it thinks they're colliding. There it doesn't. Interesting, huh? There it thinks they're colliding. Yeah, I cannot make out what the pattern is yet. Yeah, so it definitely needs work. It's not working, needs work. Let's see, I have a certain number of minutes. So the thing that would help me the most right now is if I could see more about what this algorithm thinks is happening. Namely, where does it think the collision point between these lines is? So I'm going to ask it to also output that. Vec2 star C. I think I might have already, we'll call this like collide out or P out. Something I know is not taken. Alright, so we compute C, because CL is the collision point. Yeah, so I can just say P out equals CL. And then down here, and that'll just be temporary. Well, maybe not. Maybe I need that information anyway. But it can be if it needs to be. Vec2C will find out where they think they're colliding. And that's like that's where they think they're intersecting if they're infinite, whether or not they actually are colliding, even in their own minds or not. And then my GL rectangle, I believe, is a thing. What does that look like? My GL rectangle takes a rect and a color. Fair enough. So, what kind of rect, though? My GL rectangle, is it I32? Is it real 32? It's real 32 rect. Got it. Okay. That's good. That means I can do R32R C dot X minus 2, C dot Y minus 2, C dot X plus 2, C dot Y plus 2, and it needs a color, so I'll make it yellow. Not on a very good path to making it yellow. There, that's more like it. Maybe I don't have that in this. Math. Rectangle. Rect. I don't have rect in my math at all. Where is rect? Is it right here? Here it is. Okay, so that's why that was happening, because I'm not actually using my normal rectangle stuff. Well, while I'm here, I might as well just go for it. In line, real 32 rect. Rect around point. Vec2P. Real 32R. Result. Dot x0 equals p dot x minus r. Copy, paste, paste, paste. Plus r, y, y, x1, y0, y1. whatever I wanted, and correct around, don't have autocomplete, correct around, okay, I'm just making sure I named it correctly, and then it's around C with a radius of 2. Yeah, so that helps, because now I can see what it's thinking is going on with the collision point. And you can see it's pretty much got nothing to do with reality. The only thing that's nice is once it has the, well, like that's pretty close, right? Which is kind of interesting. So it's, yeah, it's not quite moving along the pink line, and it has nothing to do with that either. What if I took blue and made it perfectly horizontal? Would it appear to just about move along that one? Yes. But it's all inverted too. Interesting. Alright, so in the future, the next thing I'm going to have to work on is getting that yellow point, because right now it should be on this pink line right there where this blue line points at, right? And like, once I get that yellow point in the right spot, I think this thing basically falls into place, but you know, my linear algebra was pretty rough last time. Oh. See there, when it falls between the left and right hand side, like if it's horizontal, like if you're scanning from left to right and the yellow point is between the X left and right hand side of both segments, it whites those, so it knows that like, if that was the correct point, it's figuring that out. The only bug is it figuring out the point, which is like the linear algebra part that I definitely messed up somehow. Alright, so I think that's it for today. But I can take a quick browse around and see if I got any questions or people with questions who haven't asked because I haven't been watching. Yeah, Abner Coimbra asks, you'll be here next week. Let me get this right. You'll be here next Wednesday, yes? Yes. Yep, I'm going to do this every Wednesday, same time, because it works out pretty well. Most of the times I can do aren't as good. You know, I've got a roommate who might be here, but not on Wednesdays at 5. I've got times that are open earlier in the day, but I want to try to go for 5 because I know a lot of people won't be available if I do earlier than that. So my plan is every week, Wednesday, 5 p.m., I'll come here and I'll either debug 4coder or I'll work on the tree. Or do something else if I get bored of the tree or have to do something else. Maybe I'll work on my elevator sim in 4coder. Alright, so thanks to everyone for coming out, and